Black coming in hard and off the card. Coming with that flow straight to the barrio. Coming with that heat to the motherfucking street. That's a fact. Look, you see them coming sideways, even coming by the byways. So, we coming hard and off the card. You know what I mean? This is PBNN, Point Black, National News. That's right, the late edition. That's how we do. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was looking at a joint where I saw Bush was commemorating this woman on the Bush campaign, Junior, with his crazy behind, you know what I'm saying, as well. That should, is what he seemed to have in his mind at that time, should overwhelm to someone whose family is from here, because he commemorates her being the most powerfulest woman in America at the time. But at the same time, when you look at the situation, that particular position should have went to a more American breed. You know what I'm saying? We see a lot of shit that was going on, and who's here? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people be forgetting a whole lot of things, especially if you weren't born at the time of the Cold War, So we have to start looking at this more closely, So we see the trickery around 9/11 at that time that led to now, building that cabinet and all kinds of positions. Economics is falling. Whether the hell he gives 69% to 71% approval rate on the pandemic that they created. You know what I'm saying? But he's 69, jumping subject from Bush crazy behind. He gets a 69 to 71% approval rating on the pandemic that they created. See, can you believe that? You know what I'm saying? Can you really believe that bull? You know what I'm saying? Approval rating not in my book. He's a loser. Do not forget the Cold War. You know what I'm saying? Do not forget the Cold War. Time to wake up to the facts. I see Blasio, jumping subject. I see Bill de Blasio saying he's lowering the speed limit to 45 miles in major streets. You know what I'm saying? I guess within the city limits or whatever, or wherever he at. I wonder why. Is it because many have been treated and many satellites have went up? As time goes on, we'll see. Now I see the reform going on, jumping subject. The reform going on is now in effect. The reform is now in effect. Now we see how, you know what I'm saying. But we will see. But we will need to work on it, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Because reform has to be reformed to a position where all sides agree on the reform. It is nice to have an independent oversight committee. That's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Outside of their oversight. You know what I mean? But it needs work as we go. As we go. This is for what is. This is for, you know what I'm saying? This is what will and is and will serve Now, this is not for revenge. This is what needed to be done years ago based on the reform of the police department all over America as well. You know what I'm saying? Because Jim Crow should not have been able to get away with what he did at that time. You know what I'm saying? And to be historically remembered, a tyrant and a clown like him is really ridiculous. You know what I mean? So we got to let that idiot go. Because this is not about revenge that black people get the stuff they want in the police department and the reform and all that. And this is about revenge on cops. No, it's not. No, it's not. But it will do better on both. It'll do better on both sides. And that's important. There has got to be a communication. You know what I'm saying? To protect all in our community as we move forward. As we move forward. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. Now I see 70% has been treated. So we should see a withdrawal. We should see a withdrawal. If 70% has been treated, we should see a withdrawal. Because that's what he's asking for again. So we should see a withdrawal of even backs. You know what I'm saying? But we see an increase as if one will solve this because of that, which is not going to happen because we need a natural ability to make it. We need a natural ability to take its course and make it better, is what I'm trying to say. And we need to see that happening as we move along, because if X amount of people is already treated and vaccinated, then things should be smoothing out. There should be no reason for every single person to have to do so. When you have 2-3 million people already treated and you're saying 70%. So if 70% is vaccinated, that means that whatever you're dealing with should have now come to a point of complete dissipation. The only way these people can still be getting sick is based on the fact that you're still testing them. And you need to cut that out. Because if you have a vax, why are you still doing that? You have the solution, but you're still doing that. You know what I'm saying? And then you say everyone. So we have to come off some of the garbage. Why is it that we are on, you know what I mean, the same road for so long? You know, it really doesn't matter. The same road and the same stride for even the children. And the children should have a choice in the matter. You know what I'm saying? And whoever has an infant child can make their own decision. But remember, your decision is the decision that is of you, that is responsible for the protection of his rights, even as a baby. You know what I'm saying? It is not to be played with as if you're God and you could just have an abortion and throw him in the garbage. There's more to life than what you're making it out to be, goddess or not. You know what I'm saying? You have a responsibility to life. And that's, while he's that small, you must make the right choices for him. So we must look at this more carefully before you move forward. It is their right as well. Notice how they push on children as if children, as if the children are, or the parents can, say no. You know what I mean? The parents should have a right to say no. That's number one, because it's for the protection of their children. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They're pushing on the children as if the children or the parents can't say no with the same sly groove. You know what I mean? But some say wrong and others say okay. You know what I mean? So your decision is your decision, but they're saying okay with no research. No research at all. No research. These are the ones who are pulling us down the road in this treatment situation that should not be for all, because if people are not sick, there is no reason for you to constantly keep pushing. So it's, you're giving away your cover as to something is more to this. You know what I mean? Many fake officials as well offering gifts to take, to take, offering gifts to take the joint. You know what I'm saying? To take the treatment. What they offer is a bribe, if you ask me. That's a fact. So we have to start looking at that situation. You know what I mean? It seems like they bribing and getting desperate as a mob. You know what I mean? Shut your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Even the New York Yankee guy has now, they say he tested positive after having 2 doses. We hear, we hear, we hear that he had both, and still, you know, he still got it. So we must study the pattern of our own device based outside of their science. We must take a look at these patterns. You know what I mean? You don't have to be up in the lab to see that. You should already have a lot of understanding by now. You know what I mean? And that's important. You know what I mean? You know, nothing must not slip by in us investigating on this situation, because now they're talking about children. So nothing must slip by in all the studies that we do, even outside of their science. Nothing must be taken off. All questions must be asked without the feel of fear. Too many questions have been sidetracked through that pattern. You know what I'm saying? Has been sidetracked for there. Now we see. For there, we see. Even offering, you know what I'm saying, free rides. Biden saying this is stepping it up. Stepping it up where I don't know in his crazy mind, but that's on him. You know, he's talking about stepping it up. Why is he pushing for everyone? Back to that again. And got to cut that out, because that's not the way you handle any pandemic or any virus situation. This is angering good, healthy people who don't need it. Who don't need it. Who do we owe is the question. You know what I mean? Even if this is true, you know what I'm saying, it will not prove anything outside of testing. Now, before you didn't, but after you do. Here we go now. Here we go now. The Dr. News 12 saying it's good. Sharon Notchman, she up there again with her foolish self, talking that nonsense, saying there's a lot of children getting sick. But how are they getting sick? Was they tested, or did they catch it flying in the air based on the whole situation? Because none of it has truly been explained. You know what I'm saying? So how is they getting it? Was they tested for the virus, or was they not? This is how we will know. Because you can't just tell me that the person didn't have it and you didn't check to see whether they had a regular cold or a regular flu. You test them, and the first thing you said, that's what it is. So what did you put in them when you test them is the question we asking. I see Bill holding, holding the stash, say Bill Gates holding the stash, you know, Slum Sue, his bag of bullshit, holding out, 5,000 or more. You know what I'm saying? He needs to stop holding out on India. If you have what they need, you need to give it up. You know what I'm saying? Stop holding out on India because India to me needs to step up. You know what I'm saying? And stop throwing bodies in the Ganges River. I don't get that. Who started that stupid shit? You know what I mean? Throwing bodies in the, bury your dead. And who's to be fed, be fed. You know what I mean? And that lady is right. We don't really know what's in it. A rush job, you know what I'm saying? A rush job, but steady pushing. You know what I mean? Steady pushing. It seems very senile if you ask me. Steady pushing saying it's good for children. But you really don't know, these parents don't know. You have never truly explained to them the full impact of what's in it, and they're able to examine it for themselves, and you're going upon your science and your words, and nobody should say anything else. You know what I mean? And for children. And he's a doctor, but he's up there saying it's good for them. But yeah, we don't trust you. You're not even from this country. You know what I mean? Who's you? You just up there giving your opinion, saying, this is good for children, but you're a doctor in this country. You know what I mean? We have to really look at that situation. You know what I mean? Where I was even looking at another situation over here on this joint, as I was looking at a situation here that came up based on some joints that were going on in the house, with I think he was Lindsey Graham. Yeah, with Lindsey Graham, where he was saying that he has to put the smack down. That's why I like Lindsey Graham, because Lindsey Graham be on their neck. You know what I mean? But, Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican, I guess, of South Carolina, whatever, has said those who are trying to erase Trump, Donald Trump, from the Republican Party could end up getting erased from the GOP themselves. You know what I'm saying? There's a lady girl put that heat on them. You know what I mean? Because Mrs. Cheney, she decides she wants to always step up. To me, she nothing but a plan, and she working right with whoever this plan was set out for. So she ain't fooling nobody else. Graham spoke to Fox News on Sean Hannity on Monday. You know what I'm saying? And he reiterated his belief that Trump was essentially, for the party. He was essential for the party going forward. He had expressed the same sentiment in other interviews with Sean Hannity last week. You know what I mean? The most popular Republican in America, you know what I'm saying? It's not Lindsey Graham. It's not Liz Cheney. It's Donald Trump, said Graham. And he's right. One of the most popular presidents I've ever seen in a long time is Trump. Biden sucks. For real. You know what I'm saying? It's Donald Trump. When we look at the whole situation, you know what I'm saying? So, Graham had said that on Monday, just not too long ago, to try to erase Donald Trump from the Republican Party is insane. And the people who try to erase him are going to wind up getting erased. That's right, Lindsey Graham. Graham add that. When Sean Hannity outlined what he had described as a conservative agenda, including including freedom, market solutions, and market solutions to healthcare, energy independence, and so on, and a constitutionalist, on the bench, which is true. Graham describes a list as a pretty good, a pretty good first agenda, and said his previous comments about Trump were common sense. And that's right. People on our side of the aisles believe that Trump policies work, which they do, because Biden didn't start any new policies or anything based on the economical status that we're looking for in building this country and making it great. He's talking about the rich paying for his big dip in the cash, but since when the rich to pay their fair share of taxes anywhere, or pay any fair share of anything other than paying their employees? They're not going to pay for his bill. That bill's going to come out our money. I'm saying whether you take it out at the beginning or whether you take it out at the end, it's still going to come out of our behind. And that's a fact. So I don't understand what it is Biden is trying to sell. Whenever they want to sell and steal money, they always say the rich going to pay for it. How the rich going to pay for it? You know what I'm saying? The rich get richer because they don't pay. They keep most of their money, and they want more money even though they're rich. So I don't understand why he keeps telling that lie to people so he can slide his bull job into and get the money out of Congress. You know what I'm saying? And that's true. Like I said, people on our side of the aisles believe that Trump policies work. They are disappointed that he lost. You know what I mean? It's impossible for this party to move forward without President Donald J. Trump being its leader, because the people who are conservative have chosen him as their leader, and you know why they chose him, because he delivers. Very well said, Mr. Lindsey Graham. You know what I mean? He was the most consensual president for national security since Ronald Reagan. And that's a fact. And that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Even though Reagan was a son of a gun. But we're still going to say that when Reagan was in there, we can agree on that. No matter how the confusion or trickery or whatever they did, even though he did some shit, he's there himself. You know what I'm saying? With the Blondone situation as well, and Rick Ross. You know what I mean? So we know, but that's a fact. He secured the borders. He cut our taxes, even though we have to pay for it at the end. You know what I'm saying? He cut the taxes. He brought a new attitude of being an American, and the people have chosen him, not the opponent. You know what I mean? Not the opponent. Graham comments came as the Republican lawmakers look to oust Republican Liz Cheney. It's about time. She got to go. Unless she faking the funk or playing the game, either way she got to go. The house needs a cleaning. You know what I'm saying? So we have to look at that. As the House Republican is ready to oust her behind, get her out of there. She is bad for the Republican Party and the GOP as a whole. She should not be the most powerful speaker for no Republican. She needs to go. Bye. Let her go peacefully. We're moving on. Like I said, the House representative, Liz Cheney, as a House Republican conference chair. She was the Republican conference chair. She is currently the third most senior GOP member of the House. You know what I mean? Cheney has repeatedly criticized Trump, and anybody that do within the Republican Party needs to get the hell on. If you're a Republican and you already talking about Trump, you need to get the hell on. You are part of the garbage. and you just cross party lines in order to sabotage my Republican ancestors' creation. I don't give a damn who they say created it. My people fought for that and died for that, so it is theirs as well. Cheney has repeatedly criticized Trump following the deadly Capitol riots that she and the demon Democrats thought up this plan and put your ass on that side. So when it all went down, it just seemed like a Republican agreeing with a Democrat. Get the hell on, get her out of there. You know what I'm saying? Constantly about the deadly riots on June 6th that the demon Democrats trumped up. You know what I'm saying? She has also offered strong criticism of false claim that the 2000 presidential election was stolen. She full of shit. It was, and Trump won. Box, hand down, forget it. I don't want to hear nothing from her and no one else until she can prove that. She can prove that, not by that garbage ass voting shit that y'all had going on and the number staying stuck for 100 days while yours moved and he didn't. That's bullshit. And if Cheney can't prove that it wasn't stolen, she needs to shut up and go sit down. Because she's looking stupid. Now this is a time to make a certain woman shut up and sit down in the back and put a mask on. Because you're full of garbage. You don't deserve the space of goddesses walking amongst and beside or in front of man. You need to sit in the back. You know what I'm saying? Cheney was one of just 10 House Republicans who voted to impeach Trump. She needs to get the hell on. Like I said, Trump has already endorsed a potential replacement for her. That's right. Got to go. You know what I'm saying? Representative, I think her name is Ellis Stedfanks. I don't know how you say her name. Stedfanking or whatever. Sound like a Russian though. But you know what I'm saying, of New York. In the statement, Trump called Cheney, who represents Wyoming, Wyoming for real, woo, yeah, you know she crazy, you know what I'm saying, who represents Wyoming, a large congressional district in the warmongering, you know what I'm saying, the third district. He referred to her as a warmongering fool. I do too. A warmongering fool, you know, who has no business in the Republican Party leadership. And that's a fact and point blank. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to start doing things a little more better and even watching the things that some of these people say out their mouth, because they're not interested in helping us to clean up this mess and get this country back on its feet. So this is Point Black saying, drop another one. This is the third joint. May Ra stay for Ra. May the mother be thy God. May wisdom be strong and be healthy in thy ways. As I was saying, quote, as the great General Salman Sultan said, the general, I quote, no man proceeds his mother. So I say, Ra, stay for Ra. You know what I'm saying? Pharaoh, our legend and our legion must be one of the same, and I hope it is, to bring peace, love, understanding, equality, you know what I'm saying? Equal rights and justice for all on planet Earth. This is PBNN, Point Black, National News, the late edition. 1.